insane things that I did or let slide while I was dating my boyfriend from hell. For context, we first started having a thing going on when I was 14 and he was like 17 or 18. I'm only going to be talking about, we split up after that and then we got back together when I was 16 and he was 20. I'm only going to be talking about that time. I stopped talking to my sister for like 2 months because I had texted her and I was like, hey, me and this guy are back together. And then she was like, oh my God, I genuinely need to put a stop to this. So I was like, never mind. Like I blocked him and then I didn't talk to her for 2 months because she didn't need to deal with that. He convinced me to leave a family vacation with my family that I hadn't seen in like genuine like years. He convinced me to leave because he was fighting with me every single day, all day. And like I just like couldn't like enjoy my time, so I left. After I left my vacation, I got back to the town that I live in and I went to my best friend's, like she was out at a restaurant with her parents and she invited me over literally just to like drink a can of soda and like dip and go back to his house. So I got home, met up with them at the restaurant. I got a can of soda, finished my soda, and then went to his house, and he was mad that I saw her first. He was mad that in the time that we weren't together, which was like it was like a full year. It was like full year and like 1.5 summers. And like a year of school and 1.5 summers. I had talked to another guy. Like I had liked another guy in that time. He was mad and he would bring that up every single day of my life and every night. On my 17th birthday, I genuinely just wanted to hang out with my best friend, but I knew that he would be mad if I didn't hang out with him because by this point in the relationship, I was kind of checked out. Like, not really, but like mostly. And I was at his house getting ready for my birthday. Me and my best friend were wearing our homecoming dresses because my birthday was on homecoming, so we weren't going to be able to go to our dance. So we were wearing our dresses because we already bought them. We needed an excuse. And he goes verbatim, the thing that we're fighting about that I'm crying about, he goes verbatim, I don't want to wear pants because I asked him to wear jeans and a nice button-up shirt. Grown man! I had never been broker than when I was dating this guy. This guy was rich. Like, his family was rich and he was rich because like he had a job and like his own job where he made like a decent amount of money. And like it was a family business. And this dude was rich. I had never been broker in my life than when I was dating a rich guy. He would make me give up shifts at work to like come hang out with him. My daily schedule looked like wake up from school, go to school, take my best friend to her house, leave her house immediately, go to his house, stay at his house either from 7 p.m. if my dad was home or 10 p.m. if my dad wasn't home, get home, immediately have to call him, stay on the phone with him all night, and then repeat. Oh, by the way, all my weekends with him, my only escapes from this guy were at school or at work. Which, by the way, didn't even get to go to work that much because he made me give up my shifts. He would get mad if I wanted to hang out with my friends. Me and my 2 friends wanted to go to the fair. My best friend and a girl that I don't talk to anymore, we wanted to go to the fair together. And he was so mad that we didn't invite him, but the fair was like our tradition. Like it was like a no boys allowed type of thing because we're teenage girls. We're going to have no boys allowed type things. I was a 16-year-old girl. I was going to have that. Like, get over it, dude. Like, no, we don't want this random grown man coming to the fair with us just because he's my boyfriend. Like, I'm not going to be the girl that drags my boyfriend with us everywhere. Nobody wants you around. Nobody knows you except me. And they know of you and they hate you. So we were getting ready to go for the fair, and he told us that he was going to show up and find us. Well, he said that he was going to show up, and I was like, okay, but if you show up, don't expect me to, like, come say hi to you, because, like, this is our thing. And he's like, oh, no, I'm going to find you, and you are going to say hi to me. I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to stay with y'all. And I was like, no, you're not. And then he ended up not going. He would get mad at me for, like, texting my dad. Like, if I was at his house, he would get mad if I was, like, talking to my, like, parents. One time we were fighting in my car because he didn't drive, so I was driving, and, like, we were in my car. And we were fighting, and he kept turning on my hazard lights every time we passed another car. And I was like, if you do that again, I'm kicking you out of the car. And he was like, no, you're not. So he tried to grab the steering wheel. So I pulled over, kicked him out of the car, and then made him walk 1 hour and 45 minutes home to his house. I just left him there. I would try to manipulate our arguments. Like, at some point in the relationship, I started trying to manipulate our arguments to where he would be breaking up with me, except, like, he would never accept it. So I would be like, he would be getting like, I would say, like, if you bring this up again, you're breaking up with me. And then he was like, okay, whatever. And then he would bring it up again. So be like, oh, so you're breaking up with me? You're breaking up with me? You're breaking up with me. You suck. We're done. You just said it. You just said that we're done. And then he'd be like, no, I didn't. We're not breaking up. And I was like, no, you said it. You said it. We're done. We're done. And then he'd be like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Let's get back together. And I'd be like, no! I saw a clip of To Catch a Predator the day before I went to his house for the first time and cried and threw up because I, like, felt like it just, like, felt like him. Like, it just felt like him. He told me that I looked ugly with pink streaks in my hair, so now my hair's all pink. That's not why my hair is all pink now. My hair's all pink because I like pink. But, well, I don't wish that he could see this because I don't want him to ever lay eyes on me again. But, pretty funny. He wouldn't let me do my homework. He tried to control the clothes that I would wear, and it started out as, like, a funny, like, bit. Like, not really funny, but it would just be like, oh, like, I'm gonna pull your shorts down for you. I was like, no, like, that's just how they sit. But then it slowly progressed into, like, him genuinely, like, controlling the clothes that I wear. Throwback to the family vacation, me and him had literally been together for, like, all of, like, 2-3 weeks. I was getting ready for this vacation, and I was packing, and he wanted to FaceTime and see what I was packing. Family vacation, by the way. Like, just with my family. So I was wearing, like, very, like, appropriate swimsuits. But it's at the beach, like, I'm gonna be, like, it's gonna be hot. I'm gonna wear some crop tops and some shorts, and I'm gonna wear bikinis because I'm at the beach. And he wanted to see everything that I packed into my suitcase, and he was like, you're not bringing that. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm like, you aren't here. You can't stop me. So I would just put it in my suitcase. He would get mad at me for not going through his phone. So one time I went through his phone, and I saw the most disgusting, like, deviant, awful, like, just the nastiest I had ever seen in my life.
I broke up with my situationship today, and this is why. I've been seeing this man off and on since May, okay? And for the most part, it's been very good. But the last couple times that I've seen him, I have left his apartment feeling like shit, okay? And feeling like I'm 21 again, dating a man who fucking hates me. Now, I like this man as a person, okay? So, I text him and ask him if he wants to, like, hang out outside of just hooking up. He tells me no, because that never really works out. So, I text him back, and I say, okay, I don't want to continue seeing you then. And he asks me why, and I tell him, because I feel like I'm 21 again, with a man who does not see me as a human being. And I'm too damn old to do that again. He responds and says, when have I ever said you're not a human being? Seems like you're projecting. I say, at this point, we're just sleeping together to sleep together. Like, there's no point to our relationship. We're arguing back and forth for a while, and his last message to me was, well, I asked him, so when is the end point here? Are we just going to continue to sleep together forever until you get a girlfriend or I get into a relationship, like, or you decide that you're tired of me? Like, what? There's no end point. And he doesn't answer that. The last message he sent me was, seems like you have a lot of internalized things to work on. If you don't want to continue, if you don't want to see me, that's fine. I will murder you. I will murder you. If you are a nice person, if you are a good person, and someone that you have been sleeping with for the past 10 months tells you, hey, you've been making me feel like I'm not a human being, that is when you say, I'm so sorry, I've made you feel like that. That has never been my intention. But no, obviously, this man actually doesn't fucking like me and doesn't see me as a human being. So, proving my whole entire fucking feeling. And will not be texting him back. And I will no longer be seeing him ever again. Good morning, guys. Get ready with me for school. This is also a story time on how I was in the ER yesterday. So basically, doctors suspect that I have endometriosis, which is where like the lining of your uterine lining kind of grows weirdly, almost like inside out, like sorts. I don't really know the specifics of it, but you should definitely look it up because it's actually not that rare. And for the past few years, I've had extreme pain, like all the time. Like it'd be like a lot more often than not. I would have like extremely bad like pain in my like low abdomen. So I was always worried about that, and we were getting it tested. I got an ultrasound and they didn't see anything. Anyways, I was at work and I started having that pain, and I was like, oh, like this is just this again. I get this often, you know. But it started getting worse. Like, it was a pain that I've never felt before. It was like I felt something like it. It never lasted that long or was that bad. And it just kept getting worse. It felt like I had gotten stabbed. And I was at work and I was like mopping the floors. I was doing my like closing shift. And I like basically collapsed to the ground in pain. Then I finished my shift, and as I'm getting into the car, literally it will not stop. I drank in water, I had sat down for a little bit, which would usually help, and it just did not help at all. And as I was in the car, it got like so bad to where I couldn't even be sitting down and be comfortable. I immediately called my mom and was like, my stomach, like my lower abdomen, I don't even know what it is. It literally hurts so bad. And my mom was like, maybe this is the time that we finally go to the ER for your pain. And I was like, okay, I'm headed home. And I get home and it just keeps getting worse. And as I like see my parents, I fall to the floor again, hunched over, like clenching my like stomach area. And I was like dying. I was like screaming and crying. And it was really traumatizing, actually. Obviously, I missed school the next day because this was on Wednesday. And as I'm like sitting in the ER, like the nurses are trying to help me, I'm just like dying. Like I am in so much pain. I'm so uncomfortable. And I feel so bad because like my mom, she's a teacher and she has like work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. And then the nurses like finally come in, they give me like my shots and stuff, they inject me with some pain meds, and I'm kind of just sitting there for a little bit, and my mom and I are just like talking. I'm on my phone a little bit, I'm telling my friends what's going on, and it's just kind of like a fever dream. Like it was really weird. Also, story time, they had a trainee nurse try to do one of the shots of my pain meds in me, and she messed up and this happened. So I don't really know what to do about this, but it hurts really bad. She was so sweet and I totally understand. I just kind of wish that they didn't do that, like have like a trainee nurse be helping like an actual patient yet, because clearly she wasn't really ready. But she was like an angel and she was so sweet, so it's like fine. Anyways, then I got my pain meds. I started feeling a little bit better, I guess. My stomach was also really bloated, by the way. This was kind of like a big detail, but I literally looked like my mom was like, you look 3 months pregnant. I was wearing leggings at the time, and they were literally folding over themselves because they did not fit my stomach anymore. But overall, that was like kind of really traumatizing for me because I have never been in the ER before. But here's a little picture of me in the ER. So still to this day, I don't really know like the root or the cause of my pain, but it kind of sucks and it was kind of scary, and I've been taking it easy the past few days because literally like I couldn't like stand before, and I still kind of feel it. It's just kind of like a mild uncomfortableness, and it's kind of scary, but I think I'm okay. Okay, y'all, I really have to go now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in on this little story. I love you guys.
Here's a story time about a mid-40-year-old guy who's trying to date me that I worked with. Buckle up because it's gonna get weird. So I started working at my job, I don't know, I started in October and it is now March. Yeah. They had paired me up with this guy. We're gonna call him Joe. Me and Joe clicked. we were package handlers and we were tossing boxes left and right. We did great together. I got along with him so well that I could literally be myself with him. We would make all kinds of jokes, we would just laugh, have the most best time, and by the time my shift was ending, I was thinking, damn, my job is already over. I'm going back home. It was like that for a good couple of months, and then December hit, and he started talking to me about how he was gonna have to switch apartments. And in the making of him having to switch apartments, he was going to become homeless. And he had told me he had a dog, and he didn't want to have his dog inside the car while he was working these late hours and day shifts and couldn't attend to her. So I was like, hey, let me take care of her for free, because I'm a helpful person and I love to help anyone, especially if there's a dog in need. So he eventually gets her all ready, and he leaves his apartment now, becomes homeless, and brings her to me. I take her in, make her room, and all that stuff. By the time a week goes by, he starts saying things like, he'll come in and he'll be like, everybody thinks we're dating. And I'd be like, why? Around this time, I was talking to a guy back in like December-ish or whatnot. He knew that him buying me honey buns, and I'd bring them back, and the guy I was talking to found out kind of like the work rotation that we did with the snacks and stuff. And I had explained that me and him had gotten into an argument because this guy was getting me these honey buns. That sun is so much, so I had to move. But because of that, this Joe guy was like making fun of it, and he was like, well, I oughta walk out with you to make sure he sees that I'm your work boyfriend or something like that. I was like, no, don't do that, don't provoke him, he's just acting a little goofy. And I had explained that you were like older and all this stuff and whatnot, and I had started explaining that this guy had also a work girlfriend that would bring him cookies, so that's why we were going back and forth, joking with each other, trying to be toxic. Then it just started to show that this Joe guy wanted to just be nasty and kind of like show his ass to this guy I was talking to for no fucking reason. Time goes on, I stop talking to the guy, reasons being not needed to know. Some time goes on of me taking care of his dog. We'll call her Betsy. He had told me I was going to be taking care of Betsy for about a month, and I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine, however long you need, as long as I'm not keeping her. Eventually, through time of all of that, I did give him my number because I was taking care of his dog, and I wanted to have, obviously, some contact for him to be able to get her back and stuff. He starts talking about how he's gonna take me out to dinner, and that he wants to all of a sudden make me dinner and for me to come over and all this stuff, and he just keeps talking about it every day that we work. Mind you, everything that he implies like as a hint of flirting, I do not reply to really. I just kind of switch the conversation. I have made some statements where it should be very obvious, and I'll explain now. When he got onto the conversations about dating, because he started really talking about it and throwing the hints out there, he would say, oh, I want a lady who would go on the beach and just sit on the beach and drink a nice little pina colada and walk in the park, and that's about it. It sounds like a nice thing, but that is literally it. He is mid-40s, almost 50, and I am 21, not really everything that I just want to do. I'm young, and I still want to act young. Anyways, moving on from that, I ended up starting to say, well, I don't really date, I don't really want to date anyone, I'm enjoying being single. I also told him that I don't date anyone over 25. I made that clear. Trust me, I did. Multiple times too, by other things that I have said over time. I guess he just ignores that and does not respect my standards, because he then starts to say things like, if you ever want to date, let me know. not so bad. No, not so bad. But it gets a little weirder. He starts commenting on like my outfits that I wear to work, which where I work, you're allowed to wear sweatpants, you're allowed to wear just t-shirts if you wanted to. I usually wear sweatpants and this t-shirt with a tank top right underneath of it because it gets a little hot, so I'll like undo this and kind of pull this up to like right here to where I could get more flow down here. And he would just start commenting on my outfits and I'd just say thank you and walk away and stop hanging around him because I just started to get a little weirded out. Eventually time moves on and he finally got a new apartment and finally was going to get Betsy back from me. And honestly, with constant talking about taking me to dinner and getting me things and buying me things and wanting to make me or take me out and stuff like that, I knew that he was just going to end up getting me something once he came to get Betsy. And he did. He showed up and he brought flowers. So I made sure to rush the flowers inside as fast as possible so my mother did not see them and think something weird was going on between me and this mid-40-year-old guy. I wasn't a bitch. I took them in and I didn't treat the flowers like crap. I didn't throw them away because that's just kind of messed up. So when he dropped off Betsy and I took all the flowers in, he talked to me for a minute. And I mean a minute. And I had to leave. I had to go and get ready for filming because I was filming for a project. Eventually my mom comes out the door and I'm like, oh great, please don't say anything freaking whack. So my mom comes outside and he just automatically kind of changes his demeanor and starts acting normal. Eventually time goes on and he starts working in a different area in my workplace, so I don't really see him as much, thankfully. But now he has been, so our different areas, when we get off our shift, he gets off early and he meets me at mine to wait till I get off and he'll walk out with me. And at this point, I'm just weirded out because everybody had already told me that he implied that me and him were dating by making comments like, oh, whenever I was sick one day, he was like, oh, I know she's sick. Me and her talk on the phone or this and that, things like that. And then he was getting defensive with people whenever they talk about me and stuff like that, basically acting like he is my fucking bodyguard or whatever the fuck. He's acting territorial. Well, one day he goes, I'm gonna send you some pictures of Penny. She's all settled in now, blah, blah, this and that. I was like, okay. He does. And I didn't see it until the day after that. And it says, he wrote a note. I'm gonna show you guys what the note said. It's a little weird. So this is what the note said, right above here. And he's impersonating his dog, saying, I think my daddy loves you. That's weird. That's kind of where it stops at for right now, but I am going to work today and I'm probably going to see him. He's probably going to wait for me. So we will see what happens. There will probably be more to update about, but just freaking weird, bro. You are 40 years old, mid-40s, trying to talk to someone half your age. Not okay, bro. Not okay.
POV me when the guy that I was talking to makes me promise not to kiss anybody else and then proceeds to go on a 2-man. This was last night, by the way. He made me promise not to kiss anyone last weekend. So fast forward to this weekend, karaoke night. Like, obviously we're gonna all go to karaoke night. I get home from work and I start getting ready, and then I go to their house and the vibes are already off. The vibes are already off. Whatever, they go to the bar. I go a little bit later and I come in while he's like singing a song. And so I go sit down and my friend's like, come here. And I'm like, what? And she was like, I was screen peeping and they were texting. They have a group chat and they were texting about a 2-man tonight. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking joking? Like, really? Like, a 2-man? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck no. And so his friend is sitting down right there, and Addie goes, "Hey, are y'all going on a 2-man?" He's like, "Yeah." And then she looks at me, and he was like, "No, no, 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 we're not." Like, buddy, you just snitched. You just snitched, and you gave me a reason to be mad now. Because now I know. So he comes back. Guy that was singing comes back and I'm just sitting there. I'm snapping all these guys in front of him, like, and he's like, "What's wrong? Like, you're acting distant. Who pissed in your cereal?" And me. Like, shut the fuck up. I wasn't really mad. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you disgusting chud. And I get up and leave. I'm like, Addie's like, "Let me know when you want to leave." And I was like, okay, like, I want to leave now. And so we go back to the house. I go to D-Sig. I got invited to D-Sig for their Thursday. I go to D-Sig. I have a dude there waiting for me. I show up, and I just chill with him. Like, I chill with him. Things go great. I'm glad I got to see him before I left for Florida. And so we're getting ready to leave. We go back. He's, like, texting me. He's like, are we gonna talk? And I was like, where are you? He was sitting outside by himself on the porch. So I go out there. He has a bottle and a chaser next to him. And I sit down, and I'm like, what? And he basically apologizes, and he was like, "I don't even like that girl." Like, the basic shit. Like, yeah, he was just like, "I don't even like her. I wasn't gonna go," and da-da-da-da-da. You literally made me promise not to kiss anybody, and here you are going on a 2-man. He's like, "I really don't even remember making that promise." He was like, "But I'm sorry." And, like, whatever. I get up. Like, there's, like, hella people coming outside at this point. Like, it's not even, like, a private conversation anymore. And I get up, and I go inside. Fast forward, he's sitting on the couch. I'm, like, sitting next to him. Things are cool. Like, whatever, I forgave him. And then I look at his eyes, and I'm like, "Let me see your eyes." And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Are you high?" And he was like, "It's not my fault." And that was my last straw. Like, he had his biggest pet peeve is liars. He had told me he's done smoking. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now you're high. How did that happen? Cause, like, no. Text me once I get back, and he's like, "You left already?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We're not exclusive, by the way." Cause the fuck, like, no, like, you don't have a job, you don't go to school, you lie, you go on 2-mans, you make me make promises, and then you fucking break them. Okay. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, "We're not exclusive, by the way." And he was like, "I want to be exclusive. I really like you, like it or not. I have feelings for you. Do what you want with that." That's a summary. And I was just like, I'm not the one. Like, I'm not the one. Don't fucking miss me with that fucking bullshit. Miss me with it. Like, no. Not doing that. And, yeah. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Or he's like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I don't know." He's like, "I thought we talked. What do you talk? Like, what do you mean?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, leave me alone. I don't know. Spring break's right here. I want to be free, and I don't want to be tied down, especially not by you. Great personality. Just, meh.
Hi, so I've been waiting to make a story time for over a year. There's way more to it that I'll get to later, but I've been waiting to make this for a year and I don't care anymore, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to just get straight into it. I went to a cheer gym in California, a very known, popular cheer gym. I can't say where, but You probably guessed what it is. So my cheer team at the time, we needed a bass, and this girl who lives 2 states away, she stood up and she was like, oh my god, like, this is my dream team, like, I really want to be at this gym, like, yes, like, I will do this. And before anything else, this girl's 18, and, like, I don't know why that matters now, but, like, I just thought I should, like, put that in there. Okay, so, when she moved, she doesn't have a place to stay, so she ended up staying with a cheer girl, but then she ended up not staying there anymore, and so I invited her to stay with me. So, she starts living with me, and the first day that I got her, like, I picked her up from her other house, she was like, oh, like, I really want to shower, like, can I shower? So I was like, yeah, of course. So I tell her, okay, well, your room, like, it doesn't have a bathroom, so we have to share mine. And she was like, okay, like, that's fine. So anyways, I go back to school, and because it was after Thanksgiving break, I went back to school. I did online school, so I only went to school for 2 hours. I come home from school, and I didn't see her, so I was like, oh, she's probably just in the bathroom. I come into my room, and she's laid up in my bed, like, cuddled up with all my pillows, all my blankets, all that shit. So at first, me being the person that I am, I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be rude and, like, oh, like, get the fuck out of my bed. Like, you can't do that. So then I just let her be, and I just kind of let her do whatever, and, like, it went on. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut straight to the point. I kicked her out of my house, and a month later. So now I can kind of get into, like, the main story, the main thing that I've been needing to talk about for a year. Okay, so first off, she was, like, kind of weird. Like, she never knocked on my door, and I actually have a list. I have a list of things. Okay, so I had to bring out my iPad. I can't show her name, but this is my list. So, yeah. So, first off, I have doesn't knock on my door and barges in. We shared the bathroom in my room, but even though it's my room, I am still gonna be in here. Like, what if I was butt-ass naked, like, and you're, like, barging into my room? Like, I don't want you to see me naked, please. And it's also kind of common sense to, like, knock on somebody's door, and, like, kind of human decency if you're, like, at a guest house, like. Okay, so another thing, flirting with my boyfriend. I had a boyfriend at the time, and I had a showcase, and if you don't know what a showcase is, it's, like, where we performed our routine, and then, like, we had a competition, like, a few days later. So my boyfriend at the time had went to that, and he was sitting front row right next to my mom, and after we performed, she came up to me with all my friends, like, around me, and she looks at me dead in the eye and goes, oh my god, me and your boyfriend made eye contact 3 times. Keep in mind, she had her boyfriend of 3 years. Keep in mind, also, that just reminded me, she was talking to a guy in Irvine when she was out here. And it was because she wanted to experience a California boy. Because where she was from, all the boys, like, she just wanted something different. You were in a relationship for 3 years. What are you doing having this guy from Irvine who you don't know, who you met off of Snapchat, pick you up from my house? Another thing, she would put her bare feet on my pillow. And she would also sit on my pillow, like, there was one day where I was out until midnight. I came home, and I was gonna shower, and I was turning my shower on, and I found my face wash rag stuffed in my shower drain. It wasn't there when I left my house. Another thing, she would eat all of my food. Yeah, like, you live here, but you never bought groceries. You just kind of ate everybody's food. Another thing, we were leaving to Vegas for a cheer comp, and my boyfriend at the time came over to say bye and good luck to me and my mom and, like, my family, and he was hugging my mom bye, and she turned to my friend, and she jumps up and down, and, like, squeals, and she's like, oh my god, he's so cute. My boyfriend was 16 at the time, she was 18. She also had a boyfriend of 3 years. While we were in Vegas, on our way to Vegas, my dad bought us food, and it was $90 for food, just for us. And she ended up throwing it away. She didn't eat it, she just threw it away. And she didn't say thank you. Also in Vegas, this is why I kicked her out. Because she was so disrespectful. Like, I don't tolerate disrespect, especially to my family. Like, no. So, we were at a cheer practice that same day that we had arrived in Vegas. And she was staying with her mom in a hotel. So, she brought her stuff, like, all this. And then she was going back to her state, like, her home state, to, like, get more clothes, whatever. My dad, he's a 5'5" Asian dude, and he's like in his 60s, okay? He gets her heavy ass bags out of his fucking big ass lifted truck. And she looks at him and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm giving you your bags because, you know, like, after practice, we have to go back to where we're staying and you have to leave with your mom, so I'm just trying to, like, save myself time." She looks at him and goes, "Put them back." In, like, the most nasty, stank-ass, bitch-ass way. And me and my friends, we were all, like, right there, like, watching this happen, and we all looked at each other and we were like, So I ended up calling my mom and I was like, "Bro, like, she's fucking weird, like, she's disrespectful as shit." And I was getting so mad, like, so fucking mad. So then I ended up kicking her out while we were in Vegas, and then when she came to pick up her stuff from my house, I made sure that I wasn't here because I could not stand being around her. And, like, I didn't want to see her at all. I could not. Also, a few other things that she did. I was deep cleaning my room. So I had everything, like, on my bed. I had folded clothes on my bed. I had, like, all these stuff, like, all these signs, all these, like, what posters, whatever, on my bed. And she comes into my room and goes, "I'm so bored," and moves everything completely off of my bed. And then not only that, she would constantly be around my boyfriend. Like, not me, my boyfriend. She would just try to, like, flirt with my boyfriend. Like, even if, like, she wasn't, like, flirting with my boyfriend, she would just be so, like, friendly and so, like, to my boyfriend. Like, you have your own boyfriend. Like, don't do that to mine. Please. Please. Not only that, but at cheer practice, it was way worse because she would fake seizures. She traumatized everybody in the whole gym for something fake. She would never take corrections, and if you know cheer, if you are a cheerleader, you know that, like, if you don't take corrections, it's gonna piss everybody off so easily, like, especially in a stunt. During our stunt group, unfortunately, she was in mine, she never had our flyer's foot. She never caught our flyer, and it was always, like, me and the other base lifting the girl up. It was never her. She wouldn't really practice, and at competition, she wouldn't really do, like, the warm-ups. We would kind of just do our routine with her, like, whenever she wanted. And if we didn't hit, it wasn't our fault because we've been working our butts off for, like, days, weeks, hours, okay? And you're sitting there, not doing anything, half-assing everything. So after I stopped talking to her and she was out of my house, she started living with somebody else. And she continued to cause drama with me and say all these things about me and give me the nastiest looks for no reason. I wouldn't say anything to her. I wouldn't look at her. Like, I wouldn't do anything. And she claims that I'm this bad person, and she claims that me and all these other girls, I can't say who, but if they want to make it known, they can. All these other girls, we were the biggest bitches to her and, like, all this shit. We weren't bitches. We were literally just being real with you, and, like, you were weird. I'm sorry. She caused a whole bunch of drama with, like, parents, and, like, there was a bunch, like, I have so many recordings of, like, all these parents and, like, all these phone calls and, like, all this shit, and it was just a lot. And then she ended up getting kicked off. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for kicking her off. The only reason that I'm making this story time is because she's been continuously talking about the whole cheer thing and, like, all the housing situations, and she's telling people to not go to that cheer gym because of her experience. Like, nobody's you. Like, nobody's weird like you. So yeah, pretty much that's the end of the story, and the only reason why I made this is because she keeps talking about how she's gonna post her story, but I did it first, so yeah. And I have all the proof. I have every single receipt that anybody could ever fucking need. So, yeah. Bye!
Y'all. Okay, so this is gonna be like a vlog slash story time. I'm going to make the story time tomorrow because I have to edit and stuff. But this is about karma. Karma is real, y'all. So, a lot of y'all didn't know I was in a long distance relationship. I was in a long distance relationship with the boy I was literally in love with. Like, y'all, in love with him. Been in love with him since I was 16 years old. He went to prison for 7 years. 7 years. And I stayed around, y'all. First 2 years held him down all the way. Paid for everything, did everything. I mean, really bottom bitch. Stupido, right? So then we friends for the last 5 years, in touch, visit him, you know. I ain't visit to the end, I ain't gonna lie. But I visited. And it was 2 hours there and 2 hours back. Okay. So he lived in Arizona, y'all. But he's from Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's our hometown. He literally upped and moved from Arizona to move to Wisconsin to say we're going to be together. We're going to start like our real relationship. Everything, like got each other's names tatted on each other. Everything. Y'all, he came to Wisconsin and cheated on me in 5 days. Clown. So all the exes that I did wrong, baby, y'all got y'all get back. Y'all got it. Trust and believe. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm salty then up. This is the most expensive, pathetic heartbreak I ever went through in my life. Part 2 of me catching my ex-boyfriend cheating on me. So I started dating this boy in 2016. I was 16 years old. He went to prison for 7 years. He got out in 2023. These last 3 years, we have been doing the long distance. Would not recommend, right? So then we try, which I thought we were going to like try to really be together and be in a relationship. So he was moving from Arizona to Wisconsin so we can build together and build a real foundation. Okay? Y'all, he came to Wisconsin last Saturday and cheated on me within 5 days. 5 days. Wild. Let me tell y'all the story. Now, this happened Wednesday. We got into it, of course, regular relationship stuff. I give him the car because, like, I live here. Like, I'm going to just stay at home. I want some time to cool off. You can have the car. Like, you can go move around, look for a job, whatever. Trying to be a good person. Trying to be a good woman, right? Y'all, this nigga stole my car. Went to go take the next girl on a date with the money that I give him. Yes. Mind you, this boy says he moved from Arizona to Wisconsin to be with me, to love me, say we're going to get married. I mean, has my name tatted, everything, and cheated on me in 5 days and stole my car. And didn't bring it back until 3 a.m. I told that man I was going to call the police on him. Y'all think he brought my car back? No. My daddy called that man. My daddy called that man, and that man brought my car back max, less than 15 minutes. And then came back drunker than a skunk. Drunker than a skunk. This man driving my car so drunk. What if he would have crashed my car? He don't got 2 nickels to rub together. Because mind you, I helped pay for him to come here. Whole time he here, paid for everything. And the Outback date, he took the bitch to Outback. The Outback date, I paid for. Prior, the day before, I sent him some money, like, here's some money to have in your pocket, just because I feel like we're grown. Grown people shouldn't be walking around with no money. So, I'm trying to be a supportive woman. And he took the next female on a date. Not me, but the next female. And brought my car back. Look, y'all, listen to this real quick. Hold on.
This ain't even nothing to lie about to me. Like,
I get what you're saying, but I just want to know for 4 hours. It's 3 a.m. For 4 hours, what was going on for 3 hours?
Nico.
4 hours. 4 hours.
All right, Nico.
And that's giving you an hour. That's giving you an hour.
It don't even matter how much time it was, because I'm not even paying attention to time or the days.
You have to pay attention to the time.
I don't, though, because
you brought the car back at 3 in the morning.
No. That time, this is 9. Look, this is 9 something. I'm already on my way to Milwaukee. Because my brother had already told me. My brother, his wife, and everybody.
Yeah, you sent the picture out.
Yeah.
Back.
So.
What time was that? 9:15.
9:15. After 9, I'm gonna tell you the whole night how it went. I don't know the difference.
No. I don't know how the night went. I know. I want to know from the moment
she said you bring her car back.
No. I want to know the moment from you left, you walked out.
Yeah.
Outback. They closed shop. They're like, all right, that's enough. It's time to go. We gotta go home.
Yep.
You left.
Yeah.
You say y'all chopped it up, parlay in the car.
No. That's the thing. As soon as they said you gotta let me pay the bill, boom, we went to the parking lot. We stayed in the parking lot, bro. We was in the parking lot for a minute, my nigga.
How long is a minute, approximately? Ballpark it.
Gang, I don't know, my nigga. I don't even know what day it is today. Like, I'm just like, I swear to God, bro, I'm not even capping. Like, I just don't. I'm just in that motherfucker chilling. Like, it don't even matter to me. So at the time in my head when Alicia said bring my car back, I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, we in an argument right now. I'm gonna bring her shit back. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna bring her shit back when I get done with doing what I'm doing. But I'm gonna bring her shit back.
5 hours later.
Yeah.
That didn't see you there. How do you explain that?
Bro, I promise to God. Listen, on my mama, if Juan got the connects like he got, he can get fucking video camera footage of me in that motherfucker the whole time, my nigga. I'm sitting in that motherfucker in the booth the whole time, right here in the booth. Brother, wife, my brother and his wife right there, and they sisters right over there. I'm right here in the booth the whole time, my nigga. I'm not. Why would this is the point that I'm trying to get to, y'all. Is one thing about it, like, bro, I'm not a stupid ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a nigga that's just gonna move off a pussy. That shit light. That shit whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got a good female.
Uh-huh.
I got a good female. And that's gonna do everything for me, and she done did everything for me since I've been here. So it's like,
that's him drunk talking. Like, he didn't do anything. He was with his brother and his wife. Pussy doesn't move him. We can get video footage. I literally have a picture of him grinning with the next girl, his arm around her, at Outback. Like, do niggas just lie like this? This is crazy. I am truly traumatized. Please stay away from me. I don't want to ever date. I can't do nothing but laugh.
Okay, y'all, story time on how my friend fucked my ex. Okay, guys, so this was the last year, 2025 summer or whatever. Okay, cool. So backstory on me and the ex or whatever. So we started talking in like 2023. We started going together to my senior year in high school, 2025, August. Okay, and backstory on the girl. So me and the girl, we gonna call her Shay. So me and Shay, we was friends for years. Like, I think we became friends in like 2021 or something like that. But we was super close. Like, we was like sisters. Like, we used to go on family trips together and stuff. I used to always be at her house. She used to always be at my house or whatever. Like, we was click tight or whatever. Okay, cool. So this friend Shay, she knew about me and the ex or whatever. Like, she knew everything damn near because we were so close. So I used to be telling her stuff about me and the boy and stuff or whatever. And side note, she used to talk to his homeboy too. Okay, cool. So me and the boy, our relationship ain't last long. Oh, what we gonna call him? We gonna call him, I don't know, let me see. We gonna call him Jake. So me and Jake or whatever, we had ended up breaking up. Like, our relationship ain't really last long, but we was like toxic on and off exes or whatever. Okay, cool. So around November, Shay texted me one day. And she was like, you need to get your ex, something about I need to get my ex or whatever. So I was like, what are you talking about? So she was like, I text him, asking him about the homeboy. We're gonna call him P. So she was like, I text him, asking him about P or whatever. And he irritating as fuck. And something she was saying, I was like, So I was like, why y'all even texting anyways? Like, that should have been my first red flag. And it was, but me still just trying to brush it off or whatever. I just brushed it off. Okay, cool. So fast forward to graduation day. We graduated in May. So on graduation day, I had got into it with Jake and I had got into it with Shay on the same day on my graduation day. So on graduation day, she was at my house because she had came to my graduation or whatever. And she was just acting real weird. Like, she didn't want to go nowhere with me. And she was sitting in the corner texting, typing real hard on her phone. So I was kind of like, okay. So after all of that, we had ended up stopped talking or whatever, and I had ended up stopped talking to Jake the same day. So fast forward to June. my best friend birthday came around, and Jake is homeboys with my boy best friend or whatever. So we was both at the same place in the same area. So he came up to me or whatever, and he was like, why you haven't been texting me back, and this, and that, and whatever. And I was like, I had you blocked, because this is when Apple came up with the update that when you block somebody, it still say delivered or whatever. So I was telling him I had him blocked. Okay, so probably about 2 weeks later, I'm gonna say like 2 weeks later, I randomly get a text from Shay. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I just had woke up out my sleep. So I look on Instagram. Come back, Sparky.
I just want to let everybody know that I now identify as black.
Stop saying it like that. That's not...
Okay, part 2 of my story time. Okay, boom. So I get a text at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had just woke up out my sleep or whatever. So I get a text, and the text says, I don't want you to think I'm hiding nothing from you, and I don't want to hide nothing from you, but me and Jake did something. And in the message, she was like, I don't want him. I don't do nothing with him no more, because I'm only doing something with one person, and this, and that, whatever. And this is a very important part of the story. So she was like, he could go if whoever have a threesome, I don't care. Like, what? So I'm thinking she joking. Like, I'm thinking she just texting me to get my attention or something, because she had been texting me and I hadn't been texting her back. So I text her back and I'm like, you for real? Question mark. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, I'm for real. So I asked her, I was like, when? And she told me when or whatever. So then I texted the boy, Jake, and I asked him, and like 2 hours later, because mine was 3 o'clock in the morning. So he texted me back at like 5 o'clock, and he was like, yeah, we if. Like, what? My bad, yeah, I got cold. But yeah, so I was just shocked, because I'm like, are y'all serious right now? And then what was like the biggest like hurt of the whole situation was, you know, everything about this boy. Like, Shay literally knew every detail about me and Jake, like everything. Like, she knew everything. Okay, so we kind of had got to arguing or whatever, and she was like, it's just a nigga, why you tripping, you got a nigga come in between us, all type of little crazy stuff, like crazy stuff. I'm like, huh, like you had sex with my ex-boyfriend, like what do you mean? Okay, anyways, fast forward to probably like a week after that. So in the summertime in my city last summer, it was a whole lot of pool parties and stuff going on. So me and my homegirls had ended up going to a pool party or whatever on Shay's birthday. So I kind of figured she was going to be there, but like, whatever. Okay, cool. So Shay was there. And mind you, everybody drunk, like tipsy drunk kind of. So she walked up to me or whatever. No. I walked past her sister and her cousin first. Because mind you, like I said, in the first part, like we were super close. So I knew all of her family and stuff. And her family ain't really know what we had going on. Okay, cool. So I walked past her sister and her because I speak to them or whatever. So we kind of like have a small talk or whatever. And Shay walks up to me. So she was like talking about the situation and stuff. But this time around, she was apologetic. Like when she saw me in person in real life, she was like, oh, I didn't know that was going to make you feel some type of way. This, and that, and all these, like all these. So as she's explaining to me why she did what she did, I guess, she starts talking about threesomes, y'all. Like, I was spooked. So, basically, her explanation went from, you tripping, it's just a nigga, all that, to, I didn't know it was going to make you feel some type of way. I would have never did it if I would have knew you cared that much. To, I wanted to have a threesome with you and him, but I just effed him instead first, I guess. I don't know. But y'all, I was so thrown off. Like, I was so confused. Like, and then when we was arguing, she brought up the fact that her sisters and her cousins said I was tripping about caring about what she did. But when I was at the pool party and I was talking to her sister and me and Shay was talking, her sister didn't know what was going on or whatever. So I ended up telling her sister what happened, and she was like, oh no, like I don't condone it. Like, no, that's not cool or whatever. So that same day after we leave the pool party or whatever, my city never like to go home. So I'm already knowing it's gonna be something else to do. But I'm the type to go home, like I go home. But she was testing me, trying to get me to go somewhere with her. Like we was just that cool or something like. But anyways, yeah. So I had stopped talking to her. Like I just stopped talking to her. I told her after that, I was like, nah, you wrong. And it's no way I can ever rekindle nothing with you because that was just such a weird move or whatever. And one day she texted me talking about I told her business about something. I don't know. So I just blocked her. And I ain't talked to her to this day. Moral of the story is stop bringing people around your nigga. Stop telling people your business. Because people really be envious of you. And stop getting back cool with people that you constantly fall out with. Because it's a reason that you and that person keep falling out.
My March empties are my gas tank and my drive to be successful, and I will not be refilling either. Thank you.
So let me tell you about why I think my neighbor is stalking me, okay? So it was like some months ago during like the really, really cold period for Houston. So maybe like 5 weeks ago-ish, I don't know. Anyways, so I'm leaving my house and this old man who's barefoot and has a sleeping mask on his head, he's walking my direction, and immediately I noticed the bare feet because I'm like, what are you doing barefoot and it's cold? And he's talking some hi. He's like, it's pretty cold out here. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But I'm just peeping his shoes because recently my apartment, they've been breaking into storage units here. So I'm like, oh, is this man, he's either squatting in a storage unit or something, or he's like here, he's up to no good. Because it looked like he was going up to this apartment, but there was a package on the floor, so I was like, oh, he's probably trying to steal it. And I told myself, if I come back and the package is stolen, then he did it. The package is still there, nonetheless. So yeah, as I'm walking down the hall, I'm like, this is just kind of weird. So I turn around to look back. Why is that nigga turned back around looking at me? What? No, I don't like stuff like that. So then I walk away because he turns back around. So after I turn around to look at him, he turns around and keeps like going around the corner. So at this point, I watch him go around the corner. I continue to walk and I reach the point of like I'm about to go down the stairs of my apartment. I turn back. His head is poked around the corner looking at me. I said, oh, fuck no. Went straight to the leasing office. They were like, okay, we're going to send maintenance up there. Like, okay. Came back, maintenance. I came back home from running my errand, went back to the leasing office. They're like, yeah, maintenance didn't see him, but like, we have a courtesy officer, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. So fast forward to maybe like 2-ish weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. I'm leaving out my apartment, just going to make some Costco returns. I open my door and I always look left and look right because I need to be aware of my surroundings. So I open my apartment door, step out, look left, look right, see the man. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. Which he looks like he was coming down my hall, but then he stopped and he turned right back around the corner. Why are you doing that? I don't like that. Now you just saw which apartment I came out of. I don't like that. Okay, but just coincidentally, I was going back into my apartment to get a jacket. So I got my jacket. I opened up my camera, my Ring camera, and I'm like, okay, I don't see him in the hallway. I'm good to go. But I for sure was not busting around that corner. So I went the opposite way. Walking down the hall to the very far end of the hall, I turn around and look back. This nigga is peeking around the corner looking at me again. I said, fuck no. He goes around the corner. So at this point, I fully stopped. Like, I'm far enough away from him, but like I can still see him. So I fully just stopped. And then he, again, maybe after like 20, 30 seconds, he peeks his head around the corner again and immediately goes back. And I'm like, fuck no. So then I naturally, and this is the... I don't really know what to call it, but I say, can I help you with something? And so then he pokes his head back around the corner and he doesn't come out again. So I stop and I'm just waiting there. He does not come out again. So I fake like I'm walking away. So maybe if he's listening for footsteps, I fake like I'm walking away and don't leave, but he doesn't poke his head around the corner. So I was like, okay, bet. Straight to the leasing office. And I was like, hey, I told you about this guy. He's back, but this time it's weird. Like he's watching me. Like, I don't like that. Like, and she told me, she was like, there is like a mentally ill, or no. So then I told her that. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go check. Or no, she said she's gonna send maintenance to go check. And I was like, okay. Went to run my errand, came back from Costco, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, so like what happened? Like, what did you find? And she's like, hey, we didn't see anybody up there, so I don't really know. But I will say there's a mentally ill person who lives here. We're aware. And I said, well, what does he look like? They were like, I think she said she can't disclose. I don't really remember, but like, I was like, if she was like, do you have a video? And I was like, yeah, like, I think this is the guy, but like, it wasn't the same jacket he was wearing today. So I showed her the video. She's like, okay, bet. She was like, it kind of looks similar to the guy, whatever. And I was like, okay, bet. Left it alone. Today, I'm walking and I'm going to go run some errands. I walk by an apartment and like, I just coincidentally just look and the apartment door closes and I'm like, okay, but it could have just been a wind, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of being optimistic because what went in the hallway, bitch? How was that opening a door? I don't know. But the door like closes, but the door is still kind of like cracked. So like I could push the door open if I wanted to. I wouldn't even have to turn the door handle. Naturally start walking fast because that's always around the same time, the area that I see the man. And after she said like the mentally ill person lives here, I'm like, okay, so maybe he is mentally ill, but that don't have nothing to do with me. You feel me? Leave me out of it. And so I'm walking real fast, get to the end of the hall and turn around. There's a head poking out of the apartment. There's a head poking out the apartment. I said, fuck no. So I'm walking down the stairs and something just tells me, like, I'm like, okay, let me look back because the way the apartments are set up, your balcony will look into the parking lot, which is it's only one centralized parking lot. And so I was like, let me look back so that I can register like which apartment it is so that I don't forget and let me record. I'm standing behind this van. I see the back door open, the back door that would be to that apartment. And I'm like, fuck no. So I stand behind the van and I hide. And then I'm recording and literally like I step out in the open from behind the van and I'm recording and I'm holding up the phone. The person goes in the house. And so I still keep recording and the person is poking through the blinds. Like they're looking through the blinds. I'm like, there's no fucking way this nigga's looking for me. So then eventually I go to my car and I sit down because the person never comes back out again. So now I'm recording through the side mirror, which I don't know if I'm gonna post a video because it does show my apartment and now I'm really paranoid. I mean, I'm definitely not posting this. Oh wait, let me get to the end. But I'm recording like through the side mirror and you can see them poking through the window, like whoever it is. And I'm like, yo, like, I feel like they're looking for my car to know that when I'm home, because if they see that car, they know I'm home. And I don't like that. It gives them watched, you know? And if he does have a mental illness, which it sounds like he does, you feel me? It's probably just him acting in his own character, but like, don't do shit. Don't do that kind of stuff with me. You know, I don't even play like that. Like, I don't even play like that. And so, what's it called? So yeah, I'm recording. At this point, I'm late to my errand. And like, I'm recording for like 3 minutes at this point, and he just keeps poking his head like through the blinds. So eventually I just pull off. I'm like, okay, I have to go. Like, let me just pull off, come back, stop at the leasing office. Cause I'm like, I need to ask her like if this is a mentally ill guy. If not, this is another neighbor. So I go to the leasing office. I'm like, is the manager here? No, she's not. I said, okay, well, you know, and I basically just told her the story I just told y'all. And she goes, okay, so what do you want me to do? Did you call the police? And I was like, okay, you ate with that one. I didn't call the police, but what's with the attitude? Like, you would think that the safety of your residents should be a concern of yours. Like, you telling me this, and I'm telling her this, and she don't even look phased. I feel like this has happened before. I feel like you've heard this before. This is not news to you. You know, I don't really like that. Because why are you not telling your residents if there's somebody crazy on the property? And so she tells me, she's like, did you call the police? And I was like, no. She's like, call the police. She's like, if you feel like somebody's watching you, call the police. She's like, I was like, oh, she was like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm really coming because last time I was here, the manager told me that there might be a mentally ill person. And so like, I want to know if that's the unit where the mentally ill person stays. And she was like, which unit is it? I described it to her. She was like, the person is mentally ill in that apartment and they already have a notice to vacate. So they'll be out of here in 10 days. And I was like, okay, that put me at ease because it's like, okay, he's already getting the fuck. But then I'm also like, why are you getting the fuck? Like, are you crazy? Did multiple tenants complain? Like, what is the fuck, you know? So then I asked her, I'm like, okay, thank you. And I said, can I ask, is his notice to vacate anything related to this? And she was like, no, we're not vacating him because he's watching you. And I was like, no, I mean, like, has other tenants complained about him? That's why you guys are giving him a notice to vacate. She's like, no, it's completely unrelated. And I was like, okay, she put my mind at ease. But then I asked her, I said, okay, and then is it possible that whenever he vacates and the unit is empty, can y'all send me an email confirming so I know at least he's gone, you know, because a notice to vacate does not mean he's actually going to vacate. You feel me? That nigga could start squatting. So can y'all send me an email when the notice or when the apartment is empty? She goes, no, I cannot. And I said, okay. And so I phrased it a different way because, yeah, it sounds like I'm waiting for him to leave, right? So I said, can you notify me when the apartment becomes available? She said, no, I cannot. You can check on the website. Bitch, are we beefing right now? What the fuck? So I'm like, okay, well, can you tell me what unit number it is? She said, no, I cannot. You'll see it on the website. I said, how am I supposed to know it becomes available if I don't know the unit number? She goes, it'll be open in your building number. And I was like, okay. And so I just looked at her for like 30 seconds and then I walked off and I literally said, this bitch don't know who she fuck with because, bitch, I'm telling you about a traumatizing experience for me. And I understand that you're not the police. You're just in leasing. You're probably just an agent. But like, bitch, you can have a little bit more compassion, especially because it sounds like he's troublesome in the first place. You really could have been like, I want you to be careful. Like, call the police next time something like this happens. You know, just assure me. You feel me? That's customer service, but you're the only one in the office. You're lucky. You're lucky, but trust you will be dealt with. I'm not gonna let it go, baby. But anyways, that is my neighbor who I feel like is stalking me, which I don't know if it has anything to do with me personally or like we just always run into each other, but I don't need much like that, especially because his balcony faces my balcony and I spend a lot of time on my balcony just reflecting on life or just people watching. Like, okay, I know I said I'll be people watching, but not for a specific reason. I don't jump from my front door to my balcony to go watch them. I don't even play like that, you know? So it's like my back faces him. So I'm like, how many times has this nigga been watching me when I've been sitting on my balcony? Like, I don't like that. But in 10 days, I sure will be going to that leasing office and asking if that unit is empty. And I sure will be following up on her customer service because, bitch, I'm not the one to play with. Thank you.